Hey Facebook, I hope you're doing well today. Instagram, WealthX TV, everybody that's watching, happy Tuesday, I believe it is. Anyways, I want to talk to you guys today about goals, why they're important, and being on time for those goals. Before I do that, you know I'm going to tell you guys who I am. If you don't know me, dude, I apologize for that. That ain't right. I'm going to fix that right now. I'm Jerry. I own a company called WealthX. And I believe that everybody has the God-given right to create a life by design. Why? Because most people spend 40 years to life trading time for money. Time is invaluable. Money is literally valueless. It's a piece of paper backed by nothing. And we spend 40 years grinding away 40 hours a week, living a mediocre existence just so we can pay our bills and struggle. I don't believe that that's what life is about. But the reality is time does need to be traded for money. It's an exchange that has to happen. What we were not taught growing up is that it does not need to be our time and it does not need to be our money that's involved in this transaction. So what I do is I help my clients secure assets that do the time and money exchange for them so that they can live a life by design and own their potential. The reason most of us don't get there is we don't know how to make money, we don't know how to keep it, and we don't know how to multiply it. So those are the three things that I teach my clients so that they can live a life by design and own their potential. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. I want to thank you guys for joining. I want to talk to you today about how to be on time for your goals, why that's important, and really what that means. Okay? When I sit down with my clients, there's three things that I ask of them. Three things, and they're the same three things that Michael Jordan's coach asked of him. If you don't know who Tim Grover is, go look him up, read the book Relentless. You're either going to love the guy or you're going to hate him completely, but that book has been a high impact book in my life. And when he coached Jordan and his other athletes, Tim would say to them, there's three things you need to do, okay? Number one is you need to show up. Number two is you need to work hard. Number three, you need to listen, okay? And I want to talk about number one, showing up. Okay, this is a company policy we have. It's in our culture here at WealthX. We show up for things. Okay, when we commit to something, we always show up. Even if we're not ready, even if we're not prepared, even if we are not where we wanted to be in the moment we were supposed to show up, we still show up. Okay, and I'm going to go through just today in our culture, punctuality is a big thing. We've all felt that. Like if you've been late for a meeting before, you kind of get that like butterflies in the stomach, nervous, you don't like it, it's uncomfortable. Showing up on time is a big deal when we're talking about outwardly towards others. But ironically, for whatever reason, we don't show up for ourselves. So what I mean by that is we often set goals and, you know, we're about to have 2018 happen in about a month. Everyone's going to set their New Year's resolution and we're going to set goals, and those goals are going to have dates. And in order to achieve those goals, there's certain things that need to happen between now and then in order to be on track. And those things that need to happen between achieving our goal, they also have times that need to be invested into it, and those times that are going to be invested also have dates. And so when we set goals, we typically don't line those dates out. And because of that, we don't show up for our goals. So we'll set a goal. If this is something that you've experienced, go ahead and like or go ahead and in the comments type live so I know that you agree with this or you've experienced this. But if you set a goal before and in like 2 weeks you forgot, like you not only did you not achieve it, but you totally forgot it was even a goal. I have done that. I've done that many, many times, probably hundreds of times. And so what I want to talk about is setting goals means we need to show up. We need to be having weekly appointments and weekly meetings with ourselves and with our goals so that we can achieve them. If you don't show up, nothing can happen. Like name one thing in life that you don't have to show up for. If you want to achieve it and have an outcome. You know, I grew up in playing sports. I had to show up to practice. I had to show up to the game. If I didn't, I wasn't going to win, right? Anything in life requires you to show up. And if you don't show up, it automatically is not going to happen. And so when it comes to goals, being on time, being punctual, showing up is the number one factor. And oftentimes we tell ourselves, I'm not ready yet. I don't have the results. I'm not actually where I wanted to be. Therefore, I'm not going to show up to that meeting or that appointment with myself to check in on my goals. And that's really us trying to take responsibility in a weird way. What we're saying is, I know I jacked up. I know I screwed up. I know I messed up. And therefore, I don't feel worthy to sit down and look at these goals that I've set out. Because we're really, when we look at our goals, guys, we're looking at the future us. So when you set a 10-year goal, you're looking at what you should be in 10 years. And that feeling that we have, that feeling that says, hey, I missed it, I didn't do the work, therefore I don't want to show up, that's us not wanting to confront our future selves. That's my belief. We're trying not to have that conversation because we know that we've done ourselves wrong by not achieving the goal, by not even trying, by not being on time. But I want to encourage you, show up anyways. Because if you do not show up, nothing can happen. You're automatically giving up if you don't show up. Now, there's a couple reasons that come up. And I'm going to put my coach hat on, and this is going to be a little bit blunt with you guys, but these reasons are ridiculous. The same two, I hear them every time. Every single time when somebody does not meet their goal and they don't show up for their deadline. The first one is, I got busy. Okay, you ready for the second one? The second one sounds cute. Okay, the second one is, oh, life happened. Life happened. I didn't achieve my goal because life happened. All right, I'm gonna flip this. You're always busy doing something, so you're right. Secondly, did you think life wasn't gonna happen? Like you were gonna set a 6-month goal and life just wasn't gonna happen? And somehow that surprised you that life happened? That's not an out. And so those are ways to try and shed responsibility, but here's the reality. We did get busy because we did other things. The goal was not a priority. We did other things with the time that the goal was supposed to be allotted to. And so when we say, oh, I didn't achieve my goals, I got busy, you couldn't be saying something truer. 100%, you did get busy with something different. You chose a different priority, and because of that, you didn't achieve the goal. What's up, Chance? Hope you're doing well, man. Now, the life happened thing, that's just a cop-out. Life happened, usually that's somebody, covertly blaming their spouse, blaming their kids, blaming their job, blaming their circumstances, blaming all of the stuff that they have created and caused so that they don't have to face the fact that they looked their goal in the eye and said, nope, you're not a priority. That's really what it comes down to. So when you set goals, there are leading activities and there are lagging activities. There are causes and there are effects. So when somebody says, I got busy, life happened, they're trying to say the effect was not there because of some mystery. Life happened. It's vague, right? They don't want to admit what actually went down, but something vague happened that caused, and therefore the effect wasn't there. This is the equivalent of me saying, I'm thirsty, and I have water right here, but instead, I take off my shoe and try and drink out of it. Of course I'm not going to get water. There's no water in my shoe. They're not even linked. So for somebody to say, I got busy, they're really trying to say, I went to my job, I watched Netflix, I went on vacation, I spent too much time on Facebook, I spent too much time on Instagram, therefore my goals didn't happen. I agree. There's no way that those things are linked to you achieving your financial goals. Okay? So the I got busy, life happened, that's a cop-out. That's a way to not take responsibility. And really what you're saying, as your coach, when I hear that, is I'm irresponsible and I, first of all, lied to myself and I lied to you. I told you something was a priority and it wasn't. I told myself something is a priority and it wasn't. Okay? That's what it comes down to. That is exactly it. And I don't even care that you lied to me. I want you to be honest with yourself. Your self-trust and your self-respect, it's the most expensive thing in the world. And for you to trade it out just so that you can feel better about not putting in the action is unacceptable. So as a coach, that's the conversation I have with my clients. And we nail those things down first. Okay? The last and final thing is you don't have accountability. And there's a myth on what accountability really is. Okay? Showing up for your goals involves accountability. Accountability is not me saying, hey, you told me you would do this last week. Did you do it? That's not accountability. That's called ethics. That's called being honest. You told me something. Did you do it? There's no accountability there. You're either an honest person or you're not. You said you did it, and so you did it, or you said you did it and you didn't do it. That is not accountability. That's not even coaching. That's just, did you do what you say you would do? You should. If you're an ethical person, you should. And I think most of us are and have that intention. Accountability is this. Accountability, if you break that word down, it has the word account. Okay? Account literally means tracking your numbers. Okay, when you think accounting, you think bookkeeping, taxes, all of those things that come up with accountant, right? That's literally what it is. It's having a number. So that involves two things. You got to know what your number is, and then you've got to have somebody to be accountable to that you're giving it to. They're auditing your progress. That's what accountability is. And if you don't have that, then your goals are significantly less likely to happen. Okay, I want to share with you an experience I had with a coach one time. This is an example of accountability. He said, Jerry, I don't care. Like if you told me last week you were going to do something and you didn't do it, I don't care. That's not a sin against me. You're jacking yourself up. You're doing that to yourself. And so what he said is, if you're an honest person, I want you to hold yourself accountable to these numbers. Okay, so he had me write, let me see if I have my checkbook. He had me write 5 checks. Okay, 5 checks. Each check was $1,000, and it was addressed to an organization that I did not like. Okay, so I had the IRS on there, I had Planned Parenthood on there, I had all these different organizations that I don't support, and I had a $1,000 check, and he said, I want you to mail them to me. When you have a number, and I ask you if you achieve that number, and you don't give me either that number or higher. So for example, if I said, hey coach, I'm going to do 1,000 calls this month, and he checks in and says, how many calls did you do? And I say 900. He said, I'm going to mail a check. I'm going to take one of these checks for $1,000, and I'm going to mail it to the organization that you don't like. They're going to cash it. And every time you don't hold yourself accountable, you're going to be paying somebody that you don't like. So guess what? I used to struggle with calls. I stopped doing that. I hit my calls every damn week because why? I was not going to pay the IRS $1,000 because I chose not to hit my calls. Okay? That is accountability, guys. It's not you checking in with somebody and being obedient and honest. That's just your own ethics. Accountability is putting yourself in a position where you are vulnerable to your numbers. You tell them, this is the number, this is what I'm doing, and they're checking, and it either is black and white. You either did it or you didn't. And if you didn't, there's a consequence. If you did, there's a reward. It's rewards and penalties. It's cause and effect. So that was the negative effect or the consequence or the penalty that I put myself into. So guys, those are the 3 things that need to happen. If you want to show up and be on time and achieve your goals, you need to first of all show up. They need to be a priority. You need to stop hiding behind life and your kids and your wife and your job. Everybody has those. Okay, you're not special. Everyone has those. Okay, and then you need to have yourself in a position with somebody to be accountable. This is actually exactly why we've released WealthX University. WealthX University is a coaching program where we're providing accountability. We're providing the numbers. So the entire thing is based on your financial plan. Where are you at today? What is your true calling? If time and money was no object in your life, what would you be doing? And then how much passive income needs to be coming in every month for that to happen? And then we dial that down. If you tell us it's 10 years out, we figure out, great, what do you need to do in 30 days to knock the first domino over to be on track? Okay, that's the coaching program. In addition to that, we also did a deal where we've linked up and partnered with Grant Cardone, and you're going to get Cardone University full access to not the $9.95 module that has half the content that's on sale right now, not that one, the corporate version. Okay, the one that the giant car dealerships pay for, the one that Morgan Stanley pays for, the ones that these giant corporations pay Grant tens of thousands of dollars to use. You get that program for free with our coaching. I'm going to be making sure that you are accountable to the number of videos you need to watch, the scores you have on your test, meeting the metrics in your financial plan. We're going to be doing a one-on-one 30-minute coaching call. And that's what WealthXU is about. It's about putting you in a position to leverage my success, my experience, Grant's success, his experience, and create your plan so that we can get you where you want to go to in life. Okay? So if you're done, if you're sick of trading 40 hours a week at a job just to pay the bills, doing the 40 to life sentence, not owning your potential, instead helping somebody else achieve theirs at your expense, please reach out to me. Go check out my website, www.wealthxpro.com. You can also reach me on my phone. That number is 907-414-5337. Direct message me. Catch me on Instagram as well, at Jerry Fetta. You guys know I'm everywhere. If you want to get involved in our coaching program, just let me know and we can get a free consultation set up, do our first call and find out if it's a good fit. But I'm going to ask you to be on time, to work hard, and to listen. Hey, if this is something that inspires you, please share this. If you're live right now, I want to see you in the comments, LIVE live. Thank you for watching. Have a great Tuesday. I'll talk to y'all later.